lot of people then realize that you're part of the '06 World Cup squad as well. Obviously, you didn't get game time, but you're still part of the squad. You still experienced the whole Guus Hiddink era in Germany. Can you tell us a little bit about how that was, how the camp was, how the squad was, the mentality going into the World Cup? What was it like for you guys?
Amazing, absolutely amazing. If it wasn't for the Champions League final, that's easily the biggest moment in my career, going to a World Cup. It's every kid's dream, yeah? Imagine going to a World Cup as a player. Don't care that I didn't play a minute. I was part of the greatest Australian squad ever made. And, it's a cliche that, when the Australian anthem, your national anthem plays, that you get goosebumps and you really feel emotional. It is one of the greatest feelings to experience, playing for your national team. But that World Cup, qualifying for the first time in 32 years with the squad that we had the hard way through South America in extremely intimidating circumstances. It was amazing. It was to be part of a squad like that. I remember when I first got into the squad, it was about a year before that World Cup. Guus Hiddink, as soon as he came in, that's my first selection to the Australian national team. And I had a blinder, and he kept me on the whole way through because I was training phenomenally. I was playing well in Sweden. And my biggest surprise was I felt like I was just this goalkeeper, decent career playing in Sweden, coming into Australian squad with superstars, Mark Viduka, Vinny Grella, Harry Kewell, Lucas Neal, Tim Cahill, Bresciano, you name them. Unbelievable squad. I was intimidated. I was a bit nervous, like, what do these people like? Who's this bloke from Sweden? The easiest bunch of blokes to walk into a team. It was amazing. I enjoyed every minute of the national team. And everyone will say that when you get to the Australian national team, egos are kind of left behind, even with those superstars. But to be coached by a genius like Guus Hiddink, his tactical awareness and understanding of the game and oppositions, I've never come across. Arnie was blessed to be taught under him. I think he wouldn't be the coach that he is today if he didn't have experience under Guus. Fantastic manager. I'm surprised that there was a few players that were there, on the fringe, never got a game time. But when we had the anniversary of the World Cup, proud to know that he still came back to Australia, still remembered my name. So that was a bonus for me. But going to Germany and playing against Brazil, Croatia, getting through the group stage, Italy, getting knocked out. It was the most unbelievable ride, I've experienced. The Champions League, I played a big part in winning that. That's why it's my biggest moment. But that World Cup, there was something special. And whoever went to Germany at that time, it was phenomenal. Driving that bus to the grounds and seeing the Aussie fans just absolutely jam-packed along the streets, cheering us on and, walking on the field with some of those players. I remember, Kaiserslautern playing the game against Brazil, and our bus pulled up first into the parking lot, and the Brazilian bus came in, and we're looking across at the Brazilians, and the door opened, but none of the players were coming out. They were playing samba music, and you're looking at Ronaldinho, Roberto Carlos, Adriano in the hallway dancing to samba music. And you're just looking at this going, Jesus Christ, who gets to see this? And you get off the bus and you're walking alongside these superstars and you're in awe as well, but you're proud of where you are. So it was amazing. And, to get knocked out by Italy, harsh circumstances, but in the end, you understand why it was given, so I'm not going to complain about that. But, who knows what could have happened? Ukraine was after that game. Geez, if we had happened to knock out Italy. But, it's hard to explain in words what that World Cup was like to be there as a player in that kind of squad and that coaching staff. It was stuff that dreams are made of. I know it's a cliche, but it really was.
That was my next question. Yes or no? Did Fabio Grosso dive?
You know what?
Yes or no? Give me a yes or no.
He dived, but he made the most of it that you had to give a penalty. And players, strikers, look for those moments. Harry Kewell was crucified here in Australia once for making that comment that as a striker, you look for the penalty in the box. If someone throws out a leg, you make sure you tap that leg. Don't go step over it. He got crucified here in Australia, but Lucas Neal, unfortunately, all the experience he had, he dived in an awkward manner and he made the most of it. And you know what? Can you criticize him for it? He got his team a penalty and they ended up winning the World Cup. So did he dive? Yes. Is it technically a penalty? Unfortunately, I have to say yes, even though it was a dive. He looked for it and you go, could he have jumped over Lucas and still had control? Maybe. But I completely understand what I was given. And that's my unbiased hat on, even though it infuriated us. And we know it was dive.
You don't look happy, Fatty.
I'm not going to comment. I'll stay out of this one. You know my position on this, Johnny, very, very clearly. We've had this argument many times.
I don't know if we've got time.
I'll rephrase that a little bit. It could easily have not been given, but I understand why it was given, even though I was looking for it.
All right, Darcy, go.
So, question, Ante, just for the Australia-Croatia game with Guus picking Zelko Kalac over Schwarzer for that game, you being the third choice keeper there on the sideline in the middle of all this, what was going through your mind when that was happening? And that, did you have a thought about it, or what was going through your mind?
Yeah, it was interesting. You know, to be honest, I don't think Guus had complete confidence in either goalkeeper. Schwartzy got the nod initially, but he didn't believe 100% in Schwartzy. And Kalac is a very outspoken person. I think you guys know that. So it was tit for tat in media and comments on the sly. And Spider always put himself in the limelight. So the goal that Japan scored against us, I know Guus blamed Schwartzy for that. 6'4" bloke getting pushed off by a little Japanese guy in the air. What are you doing? And then he blamed Schwarzer for the Adriano goal in the Brazil game. And then Croatia came on, and with Kalac being so sure of himself, he decided to make the change. He regrets it. It almost cost us. I do know that. That's why he pushed Schwarzer straight back in. But it was one of those moments where I think you had a coach that didn't really have complete faith in either one or didn't know which way to go. I was hoping they'd both implode, not end up the field, but that wasn't to be the case. I was able to be there on the sideline and do my job. But I think in the Italy games, Kalac had a bit of an injury, and they were saying, like, if Schwarzer gets injured, you're probably going to have to go on. I was thinking, Jesus Christ. It's brilliant, but Jesus Christ, I'm shitting myself if I have to go on. But, so that was it. It was Croatia game. I don't think the Croatian nationality had anything to play with it. It was just Guus Hiddink feeling that Schwarzer didn't do the job that he wanted him to do in the first two games. But, we know how that ended up. And, we got through with it in the end.
Yeah.
Any last questions, Fatty? Or...
Welcome to the Football Retro Podcast.